Yes, we treated our chairmanship with great responsibility. We were a relatively new member of non-aligned movement. When we've been selected as a chair country, it was less than 10 years only of our membership. So that means that our strategic decision to join this institution was absolutely timely and was absolutely correct. And during these years, as I said, we worked a lot in order to try to transform this into organization. We understand that it's a long process, but certain institutional platforms have been created. We already talked about that. And also for us, it was an opportunity to demonstrate ourselves. And on one hand, unfortunately, COVID happened, but on the other hand, it gave us also opportunity to demonstrate that we not only talk, but we act. And we acted in a very responsible way, helping countries who suffered a lot. We provided $10 million direct assistance and $10 million through World Health Organization. And by the way, the database for COVID, which was elaborated by us during that time, was taken as a platform for World Health Organization. So it was a very diversified support and solidarity process. Another legacy of Azerbaijan's chairmanship is that we initiated, and it was supported, to create Troika, so that to keep the synergy. So though we are no longer in the position of chair, but we are in Troika, so we have certain, certain instruments in moving organization forward, and we'll continue to work on that. You mentioned about Council of Europe and actually an ability of international organizations to facilitate resolution of the conflict with Armenia. Yes, I remember the time when we joined this institution. At that time, I was member of parliament, and we had great expectations that joining Council of Europe will help us to bring this issue to international agenda, to have support of European structure, because it was obvious that who was a victim and who was the aggressor. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. And after we joined the Council of Europe in 2001, and by the way, I was the first head of Azerbaijan's delegation there, we started to see that, unfortunately, our just position is not supported. We've seen a lot of pro-Armenian lobbyists there, and I remember even those whom we called among ourselves haters of Azerbaijan, and still there are a lot of them even now. So our expectations did not come true. We could not even seriously engage Parliamentary Assembly into addressing this issue. The maximum what we achieved, it was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in 2005, was a resolution which was reflecting the conflict and occupation. Because of two facts. First, Parliamentary Assembly was mainly anti-Azerbaijani, and second, OSCE Minsk Group, they blocked every organization from addressing this issue. And I know that the co-chairs of OSCE Minsk Group even visited Strasbourg in order to deliver consolidated message from United States, France, and Russia to Council of Europe: stay away from this process. It is our monopoly, don't interfere. So this is how it was. So our expectations with respect to using this platform to address this issue did not come true. And moreover, Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe decided to punish Azerbaijan for restoration of our sovereignty. September 2023, the separatists was totally eradicated in Karabakh. January 2024, they decided to deprive our delegation from the voting right, just because of that. Yes, they want to pack it into a kind of a human rights issue, but it's not true. We are, as I said, since 2001 in this institution, and never Azerbaijan delegation's credibility or credentials were doubted. So it was exactly because we restored our sovereignty and territorial integrity. Several months after, they decided to deprive us from the voting right, and we decided that in these circumstances we will just come home. And since that time we are not participating in their sessions. And by the way, taking into account that we did not participate in the election of the judges of European Court of Human Rights, all the decisions of European Court for us is invalid. And this is a position which we elaborated, and I just take this opportunity to announce it, that none of the decisions of European Court is valid for us because we've been deprived from voting right. We did not vote for these judges. We don't know who these judges are. So I think the Council of Europe shot in their own foot. They wanted to discriminate Azerbaijan, to isolate us, but actually they isolated themselves from the Caucasus. And look, recently Georgians did the same, and I fully support the decision of Georgian government to put an end to the presence there, because again it was a discrimination. Unfortunately, this colonial thinking in some European politicians, especially those who could not or did not manage to be elected in European Parliament and found their place in the Council of Europe Parliamentary Assembly, unfortunately, this is counterproductive. And I said at that time, did anyone in Azerbaijan notice that we are no longer there? No. We can live like that. And by the way, the Secretary General of the Council of Europe, he came to Baku last November to attend COP29 and asked me that we do not pull back completely from the organization. I said, okay, if you ask, we will stay. But whether we stay or we leave, nothing changes here. The world has changed since we joined this institution, and Europe has changed dramatically. And our aspirations with respect to European Union changed dramatically. And the topic of your discussion is change. So after President Trump came to power, this change became complete. And to behave as if nothing happened and to continue to think that some resolution in Strasbourg, or in Council of Europe or in European Parliament make any difference for us, it's very naive. It's absolutely inadequate to our attitude to these institutions. We, as Azerbaijan, feel ourselves very comfortably in our region. We already discussed this issue, whether it's Southern Caucasus, whether it's a bigger region of Central Asia or Middle East, very comfortably, self-sufficient economy, stable political system, full consolidation of society around the national idea, and of course, the victory in the Second Karabakh War consolidated the society even more. And bureaucrats in Brussels and in Strasbourg, they just live in their own planet. They think that everybody is around them is trying to come closer. No, that time has passed, at least for Azerbaijan, many years ago. Partnership, yes. Friendship, also yes, if you do not interfere into my affairs and if you don't want to impose your so-called values on our society, yes, but nothing more. So, once again, thank you very much for raising this issue. It gave me an opportunity to a little bit reveal how we treat the situation and how we try to find our place in the changing world.